Hi, friend. If you're watching this video, it's likely because you just completed week one of our online workshop and are moving on to week two, and you probably have some questions. My experience is people often need more clarification on how to build out the worksheet. So I prepared this short video on just showing you a screen capture of really the simplicity of it. And as I mentioned in the presentation, is don't get bogged down with a lot of the details. It's a simple process. And I just want to encourage you to get started and to know that as we progress throughout the workshop over the weeks, it will continue to use this worksheet to build upon. So don't feel that maybe you didn't do your homework or it's in some way overwhelming to you, because I'm going to just show you how simple this can be done. Before we jump into it, I want to draw your attention to the screen we're looking at right now. This is called the replay page. So on the replay page, following each week, you'll have an opportunity to watch the replay at your leisure and simply clicking the video, and you can navigate through it at your own pace. And you'll also see that there's a countdown timer. So it's typically will give you the full week to get caught up. In the event that you miss a presentation or that you would just simply want to go through it again, it's all here for you. But I also want to show you some really cool tools that you can access some data and also share this event. If you like what is happening so far in the workshop and you think that there's some key people that you would like to also invite to get involved, we have some sharing tools here that you could just go ahead and send off a message to somebody. But probably the best thing is a personal phone call, just to get in contact with somebody that you believe is a good target. This product or service is a good target for them, and we'd appreciate you making that kind of referral. But once you're on this page here, you also have access to some very important documents. Just scroll down below and you'll see that we have a PDF of the presentation. So again, this is an opportunity to go back through your notes. You don't ever need to take notes in our workshop. It's simply all here for you. And then there is a research data template. This is an Excel spreadsheet. Now, I personally like to use Google Sheets, but you can work in Excel or any spreadsheet of your choice. This is an Excel spreadsheet, but it can easily be converted to a Google Sheet if that's what you prefer. And then, also very important, is be sure that you click the link here to register for the following week's workshop. Okay, let's do a quick recap. I'm going to go back to our presentation and just refresh your memory that the purpose of the prepare phase is to cover planning, preparation, practice, and presentation of your media content for the purpose of getting you positioned for an online media interview. Now, in the first week, we focused on market research or planning. And I want to show you how simple this is. It sounds like it could be really, really complex, and it certainly can be. You can go there, but we want to keep it simple. But I would just want to refresh your memory that the objectives of week number one is simply identifying a hot topic. That's really what it comes down to. So in this stage, our media coaches will help you, our client, identify your target audience, research market potential, and confirm a hot topic for your online media interview. Now remember, here's where we're going to collect a bunch of data. So whether it's a target market, audience, topic, influencers, media, product, books, so on, it's all captured on one sheet, a spreadsheet, and I'm going to just show you what that looks like right now. And I'm going to go over to our template. Now this is the Google Sheets template. So I just want to show you all of the topics, all of the columns right across the top. We have our target market, audience, target topics, authority sites, authorities, blogs, events, news, products, and our miscellaneous category. Now this is what the Google Sheets looks like. If I hover over any of these columns, you're going to see a little pop-up. Now this is important key information to help you with your research. If you're using Excel, to access that, it looks a little different. Let me just open up the Excel spreadsheet. Now you notice we still have the notes here, but you'll actually have to toggle them on and off. So in this case, we're hovering over top. But let me show you, for instance, target topics. And I'm just going to right click on that, and I'm going to select show or hide comments. Now look what it does here. It locks that out. And if I need to resize this window anyway, I can do that. So let's go back to Google Sheets, and I want to walk you through the process of building out this spreadsheet. Now let's go, starting from left to right, we're going to move our way across. So column A is the target market. Now let's just look at the notes. Here's what it says. Identify a hot market for your target audience by conducting keyword research on a select focus keyword phrase. Remember, this is usually a 2 to 3 word phrase which describes your market. So an example here, I have business coaching. So let's use that for the purpose of showing you how to build out this worksheet. But yours could be anything. I want you to consider at this point, if you were to do a media interview, and again, whether that's online or in studio, I want you to think about what is the market that is going to be interested in that subject. So the market in this example is business coaching. And then just quickly, we're going to go across from left to right. I want you to also consider some other things. Target audience. Who would be your audience that would want to consume that information? So again, I want you to consider market, and I also want you to consider as what audience makes up that market. And next, I want you to think about the topic that that market would be most interested in. Now, if this is not blatantly obvious to you at this point, I want to show you a couple of tools which are going to really help with honing down and getting clear on this, because often many people have a lot of different markets that they want to serve, and often a lot of different topics that they're interested in. For the purpose of this workshop, I just need you to get it down to a select few, such as 1 to 3 would be good numbers to work with. So let me show you a tool right away that if you're not absolutely clear on your market or clear on the topic that you would want to be interviewed on, I'm going to direct your attention to a site called selfgrowth.com. And if you just go right here and click on all topics, this is a really great place to just brainstorm topic ideas, but it also gives you great market insight. Let's just wait till this page opens up and we will see an extensive list of possible topics that we could build all our messaging upon. Okay, so there we have it, an alphabetical list. And you look just down here quickly. Look, we got abundance, abuse and recovery, accelerated learning, achievement, acupuncture, addiction and recovery. We scroll down the list, and this is just a great place that we could look to not only identify our focus keyword phrase that we're going to be using to build out the rest of the sheet, but it also tells us what our market is. So again, I'm using the example business coaching, which I believe it's right here. So business coaching, business coach and business coaching. So I'm going to select the focus keyword phrase business coaching, and I'm going to then, I won't do it here, but you can do it for your own topics. I could then go ahead and click on articles, websites, experts, and products to really just get some insight into that niche and determine whether that is in fact the one that I would want to invest any more time and energy around. Again, this is just a quick brainstorm. You can go through here, or you can search it by topic. There's many sites like this, but this is a good starting point. So let's, for the sake of doing the worksheet, assume that I'm absolutely convinced that business coaching is the market that I want to research. And I'm also thinking at this point that that may even be my focus keyword phrase that I'm going to use for the research. Okay, so going back to the spreadsheet, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up this I'm just going to hover over the third column, target topics. Now, I like to call this next step a deep dive. Now, I call it a deep dive because what you're going to do is you're going to use a number of long tail keyword phrases to build from your focus keyword phrase, and you're just going to do a Google search. That's all you're doing, is you're going to use Google, and you're going to use a number of search ideas. Now, I'm going to open this window up to show you an extensive list of possible additional words that I would add to my focus keyword phrase. So I'm just going to read the notes in case you can't see this well on the recording. But here the notes say, use a focus keyword phrase to build a list of long tail keyword phrases using any tool that compiles Google Suggest terms. And we showed examples in the presentation, Google's, or the keyword tool, or Uber Suggest, or Yoast.com. Let's just put that on hold right now, and let's just simply use Google search, because I'll show you how powerful this is. So the action request is explore your topic using Google search for the following keyword phrases. Now I have a big long list. Now I selected these particular keywords because these are great keywords to identify what the current authorities or experts in your market are talking about, or writing about, or speaking about, and so on. So just to use example searches, so for instance, if I use the keyword, the focus keyword phrase business coaching, I would type into Google business coaching author, business coaching blog, business coaching book, business coaching, yeah, business coaching business, business coaching CD, and you get the idea, the list goes on. But I can actually use all of these long tail keyword terms to get myself an idea of some of the potential topics that I would want to deliver a media interview on. And again, I don't want you to be real judgmental at this point. I want you to keep an open mind. This is a deep dive. This is simply, and it's a deep dive on various terms, but it's not a deep dive once you go into search, because I don't really want you going really deep into the Google search. I just want you to be able to get a general idea of some of the topics that are available. So let's just use some of these terms right here. I'm going to start with author, book, author, blog, and book. I'll start with the first three. So I'm going to go over to Google, and I'm going to search in business coaching, what was the first one? Author. Okay. And remember, I want to stay on just page one of Google. Look what I'm getting. I'm getting some lists that I could click on right here. Top 20 best books on coaching and mentoring. So if I click on that, I'm immediately going down deeper, and I'm getting some access to some great information. I can now start toggling through these different sites, and the research is starting to flow now. Let me just go scroll down a little more. Look, we got top business coach and best-selling author Mark. We have artisan coaching, executive business coaching, coaching services. But here, I want to go really fast now. So that was author. Let's try blog. Business coaching blogs. Look, top 10 business coaching blogs, the 6 best business coaching blogs. Again, I can start to drill deeper on this. I could start to navigate through these different sites. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for anything that allows me to complete the data across this workshop. Look, could you imagine that if you just continue to search these terms and click on those links, that you would actually come across some authority sites? You would clearly find some experts in your industry. You would identify the blogs. We just saw an example of that. You're going to come across many events that are relevant to your industry that you'd probably want to record right here. Of course, many of these experts that you're going to come across are in the media themselves. So take a notice at what media outlets are they actually being interviewed on, and start recording those media outlets, because those are going to be the same media outlets that you would likely want to be a guest expert on a show or a blog, etc. And also products and the miscellaneous that doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit in any other columns, you can capture that information. Now remember, in the presentation, I showed you many other tools to gather this this information independently, separately. But you'll notice that if all you do is the deep dive on the topics, you're going to be able to build out your list as you're doing the deep dive. It's just the information's going to just present itself to you. Now, here's just a personal preference. I like to keep my spreadsheet nice and clean. So instead of having these big long URLs that make the spreadsheet look kind of ugly, I like to just use these terms such as, I've just put here, I'll put the actual website. So for instance, I'll just go authorityshowcase.com, and then I'll link to that. And then for target authorities, I'll just put the person's name, like Jane Doe, and then I'll link to their name. If I'm locating blogs for Jane Doe's blog, I'll just put in Jane Doe blog 1. I like to number it because many times people have 2 or 3 blogs, so I might have Jane Doe blog 1, 2, 3, etc. I'll do the same thing for Jane Doe event, Jane Doe news, and you get the idea. It just keeps the spreadsheet real clean, and by hyperlinking it too, it's just a right click, and then you can then just hyperlink right to that. Where is it? Somewhere here, insert link, and there's also right here hyperlink button that you can go ahead and just click and add the links. Then you have this nice clean spreadsheet that has direct access to all the data. Now remember, you can build this out very quickly. Literally an hour of research, I can have this sheet filled up. But understand that your assignment is just to get started in week number 1, because we're going to continue to go in week number 2 and use and build from this. And what I like to tell everybody is, like, this is a never-ending project. This spreadsheet can be very valuable to you from now to infinity, because as long as you're looking to build your authority, you're always going to want to keep this updated, because let's face it, authorities in the market are going to change, blogs are going to change, events are ongoing and continual. So this is always a work in progress. Okay, let's go back to explore that big list again. So again, look, if we were to look at any of these search terms, if for instance, I wanted to locate different types of events, I could then just pick the search term seminars or retreats or skills. Or if I want to look for specific experts, I'm using different terms like expert, specialist, maybe celebrity, maybe business partner, something along, or partnership I might use. So this is just a guideline. I'm using this for a place for you to get started, but really your long tail keywords can be anything. Now, as you're coming across these target topics, I want you to start recording and building out your list. So for instance, under business coaching, there may be a number of markets that I'm actually coming across. Maybe the terms are not business coaching necessarily. Maybe it's business consulting. Maybe the term is business coach that I see being more popular. Maybe it is business specialist that I'm coming across. In my target audience, I might be drilling down and locating that, wow, the target audience is actually authors, it's speakers, it's marketers. Look, I mean, this is how fast literally you can just drop information in. Let's say it's professional service providers. Okay, what else we could have in this area? Coaches, of course. And there's different types of coaches. There's business coaches. There's life coaches. Okay, so again, I'm just getting this as a result of the deep dive that we're doing here on topics. Now, during the deep dive, what am I finding? I'm finding all kinds of long tail keyword phrases. So the keyword might be how to thrive, or the topic. So these are the topics, long tail, how to thrive as a business coach. This might be one of the topics that people are showing interest in. And you get the idea, and then you're building out these long tail phrases which make for possibly good topics for a media interview. Again, we're not necessarily locking it down at this point. We're just doing some creative brainstorming. We're doing the deep dive, but as a result of the deep dive, all these other pages are getting built. Now, as you're coming across all these great business coach experts, you're also coming across their websites. So I'm, again, recording all these .coms. So expertsite.com, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. I'm dropping these right here. As I'm coming across, there's Jane Doe, and then there's John Doe. And I, again, can make this list all the way down. And as I'm coming across these people, hey, John Doe has a blog. So I go John Doe blog. And again, it could be John Doe blog 2 and 3 and so on. And then we got, oh, here, John, oh, let's try that again. John Doe. It's got a weird font. Something weird's happening there. John Doe event 1. Okay, so that's just a formatting change. There's a setting here that says remove that formatting somewhere, but it's no biggie. Okay, so target news. Target news are, these could be a number of different publications. So let's say John Doe was actually published in entrepreneur.com, and I just would record it as John Doe News 1, and then I would hyperlink that to the actual article or interview at entrepreneur.com. So I want to get laser targeted here. I want to know exactly where John Doe and Jane Doe were interviewed and where they were actually showcased in the media. I'll have direct hyperlinks to that. And of course, all the various products that you can come across. This includes services as well, can all be recorded all along there. When you're done, you have this complete page of data, and of course you can build it as deep as you want or as shallow as you'd like, but you have this data that's available to you at the click of a mouse instantaneously. And now, as you're going into week number 2, when you know that your target market is very, very hungry, so in this case the target market's business coaching, the business coaching is the market, and then the target topic might be something along the lines of business coaching success strategies. I could now then build all of my media messaging around that hot topic because I've already done the research, I've done the deep dive, I've looked at what all the other experts are doing, I looked at the product services in the market, I saw the events from the past, I saw the events that were coming up. I have a very clear perspective as to what the topic is that I would like to be interviewed on and I would like to share wisdom and knowledge on. Now that you're here, I'm assuming that if you just did even 20 minutes of this activity, you would become very clear on that particular topic. And now you're ready for week 2, which is the fun part, an interactive week where we all get together and start brainstorming the possible hot titles that we're going to attach to our media interview, and then all of the Q&A message, the questions and the answers that would be in the form of an interview question, and then your response, where we script and storyboard it and make it and start to polish it so that we're getting our messaging down solid. So that's the whole purpose of this first week, is just to make sure that you are not going down the wrong path so that you're coming into week number 2 laser focused. So if you do this work and you still have questions, by all means, go back to the Q&A form and ask me specifically about any clarity that you need, because we want to make sure that you get this topic nailed and you're ready to go full steam ahead on the next 3 weeks, which, as I mentioned, this week coming up, we're going to get We're going to get our messaging down, and week number 3 is practice, where we're all going to get to go and role play the role of interviewer. So you'll be a host, and interviewee, where you'll be a guest. You'll get a lot of hands-on practice. And then week number 4, we put it all together, polish it, give you a lot of media coaching tips. So you're going to look your best on camera. So that's it. That's a wrap. Again, ask me any questions. I'm here for you, and continued success. And we'll see you next week, or this week, however you're looking at it. Bye for now.